Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos and on this video this morning I am going to be giving you my match reaction to the Arsenal Manchester United game that ended Arsenal 2 Manchester United 0 at the Emirates Stadium. Very disappointed with the result. Very bad performance by Manchester United, and I've got to say, Arsenal did fully deserve the victory. I thought they totally bossed the game, and that. And like I did say on my preview, I was actually very confident. We was actually going to beat Arsenal, because obviously we've been in good form recently. We had back-to-back Premier League wins against Newcastle and Watford. But yeah, I am very disappointed. Don't get me wrong, we are still in the race for the top four. If we had beaten Arsenal yesterday, we'd have only been now 2 points behind top four. And taking into account, Tottenham slipped up. Also, Southampton, Chelsea slipped up. So, we failed to capitalise. So, very disappointed about that. But yeah, we are still in that race for that top four. From an Arsenal perspective, they'll be absolutely delighted that they've got their first win under Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta has only managed 3 games so far, but I've got to be honest. I know Arsenal have been inconsistent this season and that, but I think since they recommended Mikel Arteta in, they've actually they have actually rejuvenated themselves of Arsenal. To be fair, obviously, I know that they didn't beat Bournemouth and they didn't beat Chelsea, so they didn't win their first 2 games under Arteta. But I felt, there was very unlucky against Chelsea. But a lot of their players have rejuvenated themselves. Take into account as well, Arsenal have had quite a lot of injuries. I still probably feel as though that Mikel Arteta is probably not the right man to elevate Arsenal forward. But obviously, Arsenal are going to be determined to give him time. Obviously, he's going to want to make investment in the Arsenal squad. Maybe Arsenal may consider, getting rid of, more players than that. But, from our perspective, it's an absolute embarrassment. Mikel Arteta schooled Solskjaer, and like I said before in one of my videos, that I said, Arteta and Solskjaer are totally a comparison. I did say, didn't I? Obviously, Solskjaer hasn't got a pedigree behind him in terms of management and that. But he's obviously, got more managerial experience than Mikel Arteta, because Arsenal is the first club that Mikel Arteta is managing. Obviously, before Arteta, went to Arsenal, he was a coaching assistant at Man City, and he did work alongside Pep Guardiola. So I just wanted to take that into account. So yeah, very disappointed with the result. Arsenal are just now 4 points behind us. There's still like quite a lot of points off that top four. But yeah, so the goals came from Nicolas Pepe and Socrates in the first half, and that was enough to give Arsenal all 3 points. But I've got to say, Arsenal, like I said, totally dominated the game. There was a lot of good individual performances as well. Aubameyang played really well. Lacazette was good. Nicolas Pepe was fantastic. And Nicolas Pepe has definitely, rejuvenated himself after he did actually, enjoy a difficult start to the season, Nicolas Pepe. But he did really well. I think Ozil's actually, come good for Arsenal since Mikel Arteta got recommended in. I know Ozil's obviously, had some bad spells as an Arsenal player, and obviously he's been subjected to transfer speculation in the past and that. He's actually nowhere major up now, but he did really well. Thought Torreira played well for them. Xhaka did quite well. He'd obviously, just come back from illness. I thought David Luiz actually, did well for them at the back. Socrates didn't have a bad game. And probably analysing it, that's probably one of Arsenal's best performances so far this season. But they were much better than us, They were quick on the ball. They were quick on the ball. They were compassive. They created chances, So actually, they should have won by more than 2 goals. And Arsenal didn't even have to get out of second gear, to currently beat us. I thought it was a bit comparison in the second half. I thought Arsenal obviously, dropped off a little bit. They allowed us to have a lot of the possession, but we really didn't do well with that current possession. We didn't really create anything, and Arsenal just didn't really allow us to have any time on the ball. But yeah, I've got to say, very, very disappointed. And you've got a lot of our fans now that are demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the football club, because people are questioning his team selection. Obviously he did go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. Some people are saying, Luke Shaw shouldn't have started. He started at left back. We should have started Brandon Williams over Luke Shaw. We started Matic in that midfield. We shouldn't have started Matic in that midfield. Some people are saying, Jesse Lingard shouldn't have started. Mason Greenwood did come on in the second half. But like I've said on my recent videos, I think, we need to start Mason Greenwood from the start. And we need to play Greenwood more on a regular basis, reflecting on his good run of performances. So his team selections are questionable, and I don't think Martial and James and Rashford, were too good yesterday. Couldn't really get through the channels and that. I thought they got pocketed, definitely. And, like I've said, they've been in a good run of form recently, Martial, Rashford and Daniel James. I think yesterday that was Martial's 194th appearance for Man United. Rashford, made his 197th appearance. But they didn't really do all. Like I said, Fred and Matic were very, very poor in that midfield. I thought we was defensively very, very poor. But, if we want to get a top 4, we have to find that consistency, like Solskjaer was recently saying. I'm obviously going to say that I'm very infuriated as well with Paul Pogba, and I think the club in general are very, very frustrated with Paul Pogba. Solskjaer did confirm that Paul Pogba is set to be out for up to 3 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Reportedly, according to Solskjaer, this is stemming from him. He said that he has been told to have surgery in that. And I think now his relationship is starting to deteriorate with the club, and you've got a lot of Manchester United fans that are saying now that Paul Pogba should depart the football club, because Solskjaer did confirm in his press conference prior to the game that Paul Pogba was going to be fit enough to play Arsenal. He just initially recovered from an ankle injury, because he was initially out for 3 months with an ankle injury. Then obviously had an illness. So I think it's just excuse after excuse basically, because Paul Pogba, he played against Watford. He came on as sub against Watford. He also came on in the 4-1 win against Newcastle. So, what's going on? I think it will be beneficial from our perspective, if we do actually, get rid of Pogba. Solskjaer did say, he will not be sold in this January transfer window, But I think we need to try and get rid of him, and it will help us, with our rebuilding process, because we get rid of him, we'll generate a substantial amount for him. I think we'll definitely get over £100 million for him, and then probably with that money we've generated, we could probably get around 2 or 3 players in this January transfer window. I think his agent Mini Raiola is also a disgrace, because he's also come out and criticised the football club. He believes, to me, his own perception, that Man United, need to provide more support for Paul Pogba, but he's missed the vast majority of our games this season anyway. But he's now into his 4th season at the football club, and since he rejoined from Juventus back in 2016, the vast majority of his performances have been very, very poor anyway at Man United. Totally comparison to his ones when he was at Juventus, because he did endure 4 good years in Turin and that. I think he'll end up going to Real Madrid. If he doesn't go in this month, I think he'll go in the summer, because during the summer, last summer that is, he was relentlessly, linked with a move to Real Madrid. But his move to Real Madrid never materialised because obviously, he had bad disputes with the board. Sorry, no, what am I on about? It's reflects on the substantial amount we put on him. Real Madrid, were not willing to meet, what we was currently demanding. But Pogba's still got around 17, is it, months left on his current contract. He is on a substantial amount of the club. He's on around 290 grand a week. But Paul Pogba doesn't want to be here. He's made that clear. He made that clear last summer at the beginning. He said he wanted to leave Manchester United because he said he was seeking for a new challenge, and he publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the football club. So I can't believe it. He didn't make the trip to London. He didn't make the trip to Burnley. So what is going on with Paul Pogba? McTominay as well, as you all know, he's out now until February, so he's out for around 8 weeks, and he's going to be a big miss in our midfield. It wasn't too long ago that McTominay initially recovered from I think it was an ankle injury, and like I said, McTominay has been a revelation this season for Man United. I think him and Fred, when they've played together, they've blended in very, very well, I've got to be honest. But the question is, can they keep the consistency up? But now, obviously, McTominay is out, so obviously, more injuries are starting to pick up again, because we've analysed it anywhere this season. Man United have had a lot of injuries, but it's still not excusable, the way we've been for the vast majority of this season. Bay's still out with a knee injury. Fosu Mensah's still out, but they've obviously been back in training. But there again, Arsenal have still got injuries now. They had a lot of injuries before. They've got obviously Callum Chambers injured. He's one of the most recent ones who's just got injured. They've got Gabriel Martinelli out with injury. Hector Bellerin, Kieran Tierney, one of their summer signings. He's out until March. They've got, they had Mosel out. He's just recently come back. Jackie, like I said, recently had an illness. Socrates had a concussion. Klasnac has just come back. So, like I said, Arsenal have had a lot of injuries, But yeah, very, very disappointing. And, that's our 6th defeat now in the Premier League this season. It just sums our season up, because, like I've said to you, on numerous occasions, we've done really, really well against elite opposition this season, but we haven't replicated this against lower opposition. And I said, we're struggling against lower opposition and that. And quite frankly, we should have beaten Arsenal, because they've been in a terrible run of form. Before they beat us yesterday, I think they'd won 1 of their last 12 Premier League games. So that just indicates how bad Arsenal have been. But I think, they look better under Arteta. There seems to be more confidence in the team. A lot of aspects their game have seemed to improve. There was very, very poor under Freddie Ljungberg when he took over on an interim basis. There was also very, very poor under Unai Emery, who, of course, they sacked after around 18 months. Because obviously Arsenal came out the reasons why they did sack Unai Emery. But, our record at the Emirates in recent years, has actually not been very, very good. We've now lost at the Emirates twice in 2 Premier League seasons. Lost to them yesterday. We also lost this fixture in the Premier League, last season and that. But, Solskjaer gave his overarching view on the game, and I don't think Solskjaer's the right man for Manchester United, but I've got some aspects of me credit him. Like, I think he's got a lot of honesty about him. He admitted, Arsenal were the better team, where they showed more quality, but Solskjaer has got a lot of honesty about him. And now, obviously, as I said, reflecting on the 2-0 defeat to Arsenal, that Manchester United have got to address that midfield. I think he's looking to bring 2 midfielders in this January transfer window. Because, obviously, anyway, we need a replacement for Ander Herrera and Marian Fellaini. We also need a couple of attackers. We need to recruit a replacement for Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez. Possibly we need a right winger, and there's possibly other areas in the squad as well that do need to be addressed. But we've definitely got to address the deficiencies in the squad. And we need to get the right calibre players in to Manchester United that can get us back to being a competitive elite level football club and get us back up there challenging for major honours. I was reading reports as well. Robin van Persie's come out, who's obviously a former Arsenal and Man United player. He actually criticised Solskjaer for smiling in his post-match interview after the defeat to Arsenal yesterday. In that, this is what Robin van Persie had said. But, we're obviously now into 2020. Van Jordan a bad start to 2020. And Solskjaer did initially say, that he expects a better 2020 from Manchester United. If he believes that 2020 will be a successful year for us. Like I said on my recent videos, I want this year, to be, totally comparison to what it was last year, because analysing it in the vast majority of last year, we was very inconsistent. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Melia, and Jordan, a very difficult time and that. So we do hope for a better year this year. Solskjaer in total has been at Man United now. He's been here over a year, obviously. He's been permanent manager nearly for around 10 months. And analysing the vast majority of that 10-month period, he has endured a very, very difficult time. Like I said, we've had some good periods here and there where we've done well, we've put a good performance out. Certain players have rejuvenated themselves, but we've just failed to keep that consistency up. And, probably now we'll go react to this 2-0 defeat to Arsenal. We'll go win a couple of games and then we'll be back to square one. And that's what's been happening this season. That's what the pattern's been. But we do seem to to react to bad defeats. I do understand that we are in a transition period, as Solskjaer was saying, and he obviously hopes that Man United can get through this transition period. This is, what we do need to do. But Solskjaer says, he still expects ups and downs, but obviously, hopes for more ups and downs. He obviously is aware that we're not in that commanding position, that we should be in. And we're not in that commanding position, that we should be in. We're sitting, 5th or 6th in the league? We've registered, 31 points in 21 Premier League games. And we know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And look at the amount of money that's been invested into the football club over the years. Look how much money's been spent in the last 6 or 7 years at Man United. Around I think it's around nearly £1 billion we've spent on recruiting new players. We've also got players on big contracts at the football club. But we are enjoying our worst start to a Premier League season for around 30 years. So we're actually worse under the Solskjaer era than what was under Mourinho, Louis van Gaal and David Moyes. I haven't seen any improvements under Solskjaer whatsoever prior to that 3 months when he was the interim manager and that. Because in that 3-month period, we did really, really well. The results were good, the performances were good. He got the best out of these group of players, and he exceeded expectations. But since he got the job permanently, everything has just seemed to have all gone wrong. Man United, I'm very sceptical that Man United will sack him, especially with this present time. I think he will still be here. Obviously, by February, I think he'll still be here at the end of the season. But I'm very sceptical, that he will see out his 3-year contract at the football club. And obviously, we get rid of Solskjaer. Obviously, we'll have to pay something in compensation. I can't estimate how much we'd have to pay, but we'd obviously have to pay something. But yeah, just for me, he isn't the long-term solution for Manchester United. Like I said, he hasn't got any intuition on how to manage. I thought he was a great player for the football club for 11 years. But I think as a manager, he is totally a comparison. But, even if his managerial tenure doesn't work out, we'll never forget, what Solskjaer has done for the football club, because he was a great, like I said, he was a great long-serving player in that, but we'll never forget, what he has done. But, his managerial tenure, isn't going to work at Manchester United. He's being tactically naive for the vast majority of this season. Solskjaer, to me, doesn't have a plan B. I think our only style of play is counter-attacking football. That's the only style of play we've got. So, our brand of football isn't that really, really good. Some of his substitutions and that are questionable, but the things that I do credit Solskjaer for is that, what he's done the main thing he has done in his managerial tenure so far with Man United is give the youngsters their opportunities, because he did say at the start of this season that, the young players would get given their chances, and to be fair, the young players have been given their chances this season, which is obviously very, very good, because we have got a lot of young players in the squad that are developing and trying to improve. I think, from my own perception, we need to start going with a different formation, because we've been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation far too much this season. We've been going with it on a regular basis, and to me it just doesn't seem to suit our standards. Maybe in some games the formations worked, but we need to try a different formation. Maybe revert to 3 at the back, or maybe go with a 4-3-3 formation. If I'm right, I think we went with that 4-3-3 formation a lot. In that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager in that. But there's a lot of Man United fans now demanding him out of the club. I think the expectations are just too high for him at Man United, because he knows this year, Solskjaer, he knows that he's got many expectations to exceed the football club, But, you've got Ed Woodward, that's still determined to stand by him. You've got the vast majority of our players that have still got faith in him. Our board are determined to back him in this January transfer window. They are determined to back him this summer. Sorry, should I say. But, they're not going to sack him. And I think, disregarding him, being a club legend and that, I think he probably, would have been sacked by now. But I think, like with the wins against Tottenham and Man City early on this season, you can say they saved his managerial tenure at the football club. Because if, we hadn't beaten many of them, I think he would have been sacked by now. But, I still believe he'll be under some kind of pressure, Will Solskjaer, and I think, he is aware of this. But I definitely think we need to see a variety of changes at the football club. As I've said on my other videos, we need to get rid of our current board, because our board have been a liability for several years. I think we need to get rid of Ed Woodward, because he also replicates the board. I think we also need to get rid of our coaching staff. We need a change of management. I think, we need to get rid of the Glazers. There's still more players that need to leave Manchester United, despite the fact that a lot of players have left since Mulligan and Solskjaer's arrival. I think, we need to get rid of another 4 or 5 more players at least. So, yeah, we need to see a variety of changes at the football club, definitely. I think there's a lot of Man United fans that are still, demanding Mauricio Pochettino in, because Mauricio Pochettino's been on our agenda for a while. Man United have been long admirers of Mauricio Pochettino. We was initially in for Pochettino after the sacking of Jose Mourinho in December of 2018. Obviously at that time though, we'd had to pay something, to recommend him in. Obviously now we wouldn't have to pay out to recommend him in because he is managerless, because he was sacked from Tottenham the other month. But like I said, our preference was Solskjaer over Pochettino, because we saw it that, Solskjaer knows the club well, plus Solskjaer was a cheaper solution, plus Solskjaer did really, really well in that 3-month period, so we decided to keep him on. Pochettino and Solskjaer, totally comparison. Pochettino for me is a much better manager than Solskjaer. He's got that managerial experience. He's proven in the Premier League fair enough, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, and that's probably the only element of concern I've got about Mauricio Pochettino. But prior to that, good manager. He enjoyed a good 5.5 years there with Tottenham. Like I said, he's managed 2 Premier League clubs so far. He's managed 3 clubs in total. He managed Tottenham. He obviously enjoyed a short spell there with Southampton. I thought he did well with Southampton. And before that, he was at Espanyol. And he's been managing now for just over a decade as Pochettino. And that. But he's actually a very, very good manager. And there was reports a while back saying that, Pochettino wants, the Manchester United job. But I think, he would, Pochettino would get us back, to where we do want to be. But Pochettino hasn't only been linked with the managerial role at Man United. Don't forget there was speculation not too long ago about him going to Bayern Munich. There was also talks about him going to Real Madrid. There was also talks about him going to Real Madrid. So I think if we do get rid of Solskjaer and I think, Pochettino, it's very imminent that he will be my next manager, providing that, he doesn't get another job by the time we have sacked Solskjaer. Don't forget, there was, a lot of speculation a while ago about Massimiliano Allegri, but due to our inconsistency, not all of the blame stems from the manager. Certain players have got to take responsibility, and I think, I don't like the way the football club's been run anywhere in the last 6 or 7 years, and that I just really don't like the way the football club has been run. And, I think we need a director of football. It's a shame that we didn't get one in during the course of the summer, a director of football. Because I did say that's one of the structural changes that we do need to see at the football club. Solskjaer's our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. We've already sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, even though we're not really known for sacking a football club. Obviously, you got David Moyes that got sacked after 10 months. He enjoyed the shortest tenure with the club. Van Gaal, of course, left after a year, despite the fact that he won the FA Cup. Jose Mourinho, of course, got sacked after he enjoyed a 2.5-year tenure. So he's actually had the longest tenure at the football club since the Ferguson era. And he won the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season with Man United. So like I said, we've had different managers with different philosophies. But I just think, we need to get the right manager in. But who is the right manager for Manchester United? And that is the question. But, we don't really have the structure to keep sacking managers. And I still think, we can get some silverware on the board this season. So that is positive. We can possibly win the Carabao Cup. If we can beat Man City, we can probably win the Carabao Cup. We can obviously, win the Europa League. That's another route to Champions League football. And Solskjaer was recently, talking about the importance of of Man United lifting silverware. So this what he was currently doing. But yeah, hopefully we can do some get some signings in this January transfer window. It's very, very essential. But Solskjaer did say not too long ago that it isn't assured that we'll make many signings in January. But he actually said he was very optimistic about transfers. I obviously provided you with some news yesterday, regarding the transfers and that. Obviously there's been recent talks about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There's, we're seeing him as an alternative to Erling Haaland, because obviously now we can't get Erling Haaland because he's joined Borussia Dortmund. Jadon Sancho's on our agenda. The midfielders that are on our agenda is Christian Eriksen. He's one. There's obviously Saul Niguez, there's James Maddison, and I think all of them would be the right calibre players for Manchester United and that. But I think Solskjaer's going to get unlimited funds anywhere. So I think, me estimating this, we're going to spend from, 250 to £300 million on recruiting new players in. But, definitely our recruitment has got to improve. And, to be fair, last summer we did recommend 3 good players into the squad. We spent nearly £150 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire. And they've all enjoyed fantastic starts to their Manchester United careers and that. And Solskjaer still wants to continue recruiting young players in. This is what he does want to do. He wants to, continue recruiting young players into the football club. But yeah, definitely more signings are currently needed. And, there's some Man United fans saying now that Luke Shaw isn't good enough for the football club. He's now in his 5th season, is he now as a Manchester United player? He was injured early on this season for a while. But I think now, as I said, we view Brandon Williams as our first choice left back. I don't think Pereira's good enough for Man United. He's another player. I think, we've actually overplayed Andres Pereira this season, definitely. So these definitely still quite a lot of problematic players at Manchester United and that. But we have now got our games coming up thick and fast. Wolves at the weekend in the FA Cup, 3rd round, going to be another difficult game. I know Wolves have lost their last 2 games. They was actually unlucky to lose at Liverpool. They did actually have a good win against Man City not too long ago. And, it's going to be a difficult game. Then, we've got City in the first leg of the Carabao Cup, Norwich coming up, then Liverpool coming up this month. So games are coming up thick fast for Manchester United. But, we should have been in the top 4 by now. We'd have beaten Villa, we'd have beaten Everton, we'd have been in the top 4 now. Sheffield United should have won that, even though we didn't play particularly well. Watford is another one. We've drawn a lot of games as well this season, as well as lost too many. We've drawn 7 games in the Premier League, this season, and I think the vast majority of them draws, Manchester United should have actually won. But like I say, credit to Arsenal, they fully deserved the victory. I think I think a lot of Arsenal fans, from their own perception, knew this was going to be the game. Their first game there was going to win under Mikel Arteta. But to be fair, they did react to their defeat to Chelsea well. But obviously now Arsenal don't want to get carried away. They know they've got to keep them performances up. They've got to keep the consistency up and that. And then maybe they will get somewhere. Maybe they are still in the top 4. They are still quite a lot of points behind, but there's still there's quite a lot of teams in that top 4 race. There's us, there's Chelsea, there's Tottenham, like I said, they slipped up. There's maybe Wolves. There's quite a lot in it. There is quite a lot in it, like I said. There will be more videos coming up. Videos coming up very, very soon. Drop your comments, like, support on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.